Imagine walking into a coffee shop. The barista gives you an extra cookie, smiling warmly. You didn't ask for it, you didn't expect it, but suddenly you feel an urge, almost irresistible, to respond. Maybe a tip, a smile, a compliment. That invisible nudge is the reciprocity principle in action, one of the most powerful psychological triggers for human behavior. Humans are wired to return favors. Anthropologists trace this instinct back thousands of years. In tribal societies, helping others ensured survival. Reciprocation built trust, cooperation, and long-term alliances. The brain evolved to respond to generosity with generosity. When someone gives, we feel a subtle obligation to give back, even if the favor is small or unexpected. Science confirms this. Studies in social psychology show that people who receive a gift or favor are far more likely to respond positively, even when it's trivial or symbolic. In one famous experiment, waiters who gave customers a small mint with the check increased tips by almost 20%. The act triggered an unconscious need to reciprocate. Let's step into a story. Sophie works in a corporate office. She wants to improve her relationship with her manager, but direct requests feel awkward. Instead of asking outright, she leaves a small, thoughtful gesture on their desk, a report formatted neatly, a coffee cup from their favorite cafe, or a helpful note about a project. Her manager notices, smiles, and over time starts offering guidance, opportunities, and support. Why? The brain wants to balance the scales. The favor creates a subtle obligation. Sophie didn't demand attention. She created influence through generosity. Here's the key. Reciprocity doesn't require large gestures. Even tiny acts, a compliment, a shared resource, a helpful tip, trigger the same principle. The brain interprets the action as a debt, prompting internal motivation to repay it. The effect is strongest when the favor is unexpected or personalized, because it activates gratitude, trust, and attention simultaneously. Imagine a negotiation scenario. You want a colleague to review a proposal. Instead of starting with a request, you offer something first, a valuable insight, a helpful document, or constructive feedback. The colleague now feels an unconscious pull to reciprocate, making them more likely to help. Reciprocity works silently, subtly, and almost effortlessly. There's another layer, the psychology of delayed reciprocity. People are more likely to respond positively when the favor is unexpected and not immediately tied to a request. This is why free samples, early insights, or surprise acts of kindness often trigger stronger responses than overt transactional exchanges. The brain perceives these gestures as genuine, creating authentic social obligation. Let's bring it closer to daily life. You want to influence a friend to help with a project. Instead of asking directly, you first do something thoughtful. Research a solution for them, bring a small resource, or give a tip they can use immediately. Later, when you ask for help, the response is smoother, faster, and more willing. Reciprocity works not because of manipulation, but because humans naturally balance social scales. Even in sales or marketing, the principle dominates. Free trials, complimentary gifts, or unexpected advice create psychological debt. Customers feel compelled to reciprocate, often through purchase, loyalty, or endorsement. The brain interprets the gift as a signal. This person or brand values me, I should respond. The effect is universal across cultures, demographics, and contexts. Here's a deeper psychological insight. Reciprocity also triggers moral and social self-perception. When someone gives, the recipient's brain interprets the favor as trust and goodwill. Refusing to reciprocate creates discomfort, even guilt, because humans are wired to maintain social harmony. This subtle tension makes the principle a potent tool for influence. Now the practical hacks. Start with small, genuine favors, a compliment, insight, or assistance. It doesn't have to be large. Subtlety is more effective. Be unexpected. Don't tie the favor to an immediate request. Surprise generosity increases the effect. Personalize favors Show awareness of needs, preferences, or pain points. Specificity strengthens emotional response. Follow up strategically after giving. Allow time before requesting. People naturally feel compelled to reciprocate, creating smoother influence. Maintain authenticity. Favors must feel genuine. Forced or manipulative gestures reduce trust and effectiveness. Let's illustrate with a social scenario. You're hosting a dinner party. Instead of asking friends to bring dishes, you prepare a few extra treats and leave small gifts at each place. Guests notice, feel appreciated, and naturally offer help, compliments, or bring dishes next time. The act creates an environment of mutual generosity and influence. Even online, reciprocity works. Sharing valuable content, responding thoughtfully to comments, or offering free resources generates goodwill. Followers, colleagues, and peers feel a subtle pull to return the favor through engagement, support, or collaboration. The effect transcends physical presence. It operates in digital interactions as strongly as in real life. Here's the counterintuitive twist. The act of giving can increase your influence even if the recipient doesn't consciously recognize it. Humans subconsciously track social debts, creating long-term favorability, trust, and alignment. You don't need to announce generosity. The effect works quietly in the mind. Now imagine a workplace scenario. You need a team member's support on a challenging project. Instead of insisting, you first help them with a minor task, share a useful template, or provide a resource. Days later, when you request collaboration, they respond willingly and enthusiastically. Reciprocity has transformed potential friction into cooperation. And here's the final insight. Reciprocity works both ways. When you accept favors gracefully, you build trust and goodwill. When you give thoughtfully, you gain influence without coercion. The balance of social give and take strengthens relationships, motivates behavior, and fosters mutual respect. Here's your call to action. This week, identify 3 small, genuine acts of generosity you can do for colleagues, friends, or acquaintances. Make them unexpected, personalized, and thoughtful. Observe how people respond naturally. Notice the influence, goodwill, and trust that develops not through words, but through action and the silent power of reciprocity. Because the truth is simple yet profound, humans are wired to return favors. When you give first, you trigger a chain reaction of influence, goodwill, and cooperation that no argument or persuasion technique can match.